Let me give you two preseason scenarios. Season one, you get your kids in shape fast. They look really good at early meets, but a good percentage of them are hurt, banged up, or never really right all season. Scenario two, you take a longer view, you build them in more gradually, fewer injuries, more kids actually training consistently. When you get to the end of the season, which team is really in better position to perform? That drives everything I do in the preseason. Now, for most of you watching this, the outdoor season is probably about 6 weeks away. Some of you might be doing some indoor track before that. Some of you aren't. But either way, this is still the very beginning of the year. And this is where I think a lot of coaches get tripped up. 6 weeks can feel close, so the instinct is to rush. But you got to zoom out for a second. The real goal isn't to be in great shape in 6 weeks. The goal is to be healthy, consistent, and still improving 4 months from now when the season actually matters. Early meets are useful. They give the kids feedback and they give the kids experience, but it's not the finish line. You don't win a track season in January or February. So instead of asking, how do I get them in shape? I think the better question is, how do I get from where they are right now to where they need to be 6 weeks from now without wrecking the rest of the season? And that's where my whole preseason strategy starts. Here's how I think about the preseason. I don't start by asking, what should we do this week? I start by asking, what do I want my athletes to be ready to handle in the first week of the season? That week matters. That's where we're introducing real workouts with higher intensity and more specific demands. And once I know what that week looks like, I can work backwards from there. So think of it like building a ladder. If the season is 6 weeks away, you need 6 rungs to climb. The shorter the time frame, the taller those rungs have to be. And the earlier you start, the smaller the steps can be. Smaller steps means less stress, better adaptations, and fewer injuries. When coaches get in trouble, it's usually not because they train too hard at once. It's because the jumps are too big, too fast, too early. Working backwards forces you to be intentional. Volume increases are planned. Intensity changes are planned. Nothing is random. You're not rushed. You're building. One thing I want to be really clear about, I only ever sprint my athletes about 3 days a week. Not just in the off season, that's a year-round thing. When we start next week, we're only going to meet 2 days a week. I'm going to give them a third thing to do on their own optionally. Other teams might do 3 days a week. During the season, obviously, we're together 5 days a week. But in the season, the heavy sprint work still only happens about 3 days a week. The other days, that's weight room work, general strength, recovery. That's how you keep athletes healthy and progressing over a long season. And here's the key part. All the stability work and the jump rope and the drills and all the acceleration work, that all happens on those sprint days. I don't separate that stuff into other days. I build it right into the sprint session itself. Those pieces are part of earning the sprint work. They prepare the body, reinforce mechanics, and they teach the athlete how to apply force before they ever run fast. So on sprint days, before we ever worry about how fast they're running, we're focused on preparing the body to handle it. That means a lot of emphasis on core stability, hip stability, especially in the foot, ankle, and the calf, because at the end of the day, sprinting is just force into the ground. If they can't control the force, the speed just exposes the weak spots. This is where things like jump rope come in, two-legged, alternating legs, simple progressions. Not for conditioning, but to teach rhythm, stiffness, and how to strike the ground correctly. All this happens as part of the sprint session. It's not extra, it's foundational. This time of year is also when I spend a lot of time teaching movement. We're running drills, a lot of them, because preseason is the best opportunity to clean things up before intensity really ramps up. The goal is simple. Every drill teaches the positions and the ground contact we want to see when they sprint. And then when we do run, we're reinforcing those same movements. If an athlete doesn't move well at slow speeds, sprinting faster doesn't fix it. It just makes the problem louder. That same idea carries over into how we handle starts. Earlier in the year, we're working on acceleration mechanics from the start line, body angles, posture, pushing the ground away. I'm not in a rush to get into the blocks. I want them to understand how to accelerate first. Once those positions are solid, blocks become a tool, not a crutch. So when you zoom out, everything in the preseason has a purpose. We're building capacity, teaching movement, progressing acceleration, all while keeping athletes healthy and able to train consistently. And that's exactly why I wanted to start this video series here before the season even begins. One thing I'll say, the hardest part of coaching isn't knowing what to do. It's keeping everything organized and progressing at the right pace week after week. This exact preseason structure, the sprint days, the drills, the stability work, and acceleration progression, that's how I built it inside my ACE Track Coach app. All the preseason workouts are there, all the drills are there. So instead of guessing or scrambling, I can focus on actually coaching. That's just a tool, but the thinking behind it is what really matters. And that brings me to the big reason I wanted to start here. Starting next video, I'm walking you through the track season 1 week at a time. Week 1, what to expect, what to emphasize, what not to worry about yet. Then week 2, week 3, all the way through the championship phase. And I also want the series to be useful, not just based on what I think matters. So I've got a short survey linked in the description and the comments. I want to hear from you. What are you struggling with early in the season? What questions keep coming up? And honestly, what advice or suggestions would you give other coaches during the first few weeks? I'll be using that feedback to shape these weekly videos and to address real challenges coaches are dealing with right now. This series is better when we're learning from each other. If you're a coach that wants clarity and a steady plan from start to finish, you're going to want to follow this series. Make sure you're subscribed because next week is week 1 of the season. And if you want this entire progression already organized for you, workouts, drills, and weekly structure, you can try the ACE Track and Field system. The link's below. And I also have the ACE Track Coach app that's also for free. Drop a comment and tell me when your season starts and how many weeks you have. And I'll see you in week